Not giving you any other food. Get your food, boy. Like a virgin. Touched for the very first time. Like a virgin. I'm doing okay. How are you, Bonnie Monger? How goes it? So, hey guys, how are you? So I want to share a little bit about myself. Because I just think it's, I think it'd be helpful if I kind of share a little bit about my personal life and how I see spirit trying to guide me basically in my life, because my life is, I've made peace with my reality, but I want to continue to work towards, experiencing more. Specifically with somebody there next to me. Just like, everybody else. What's going on? Anyways, so I'm just gonna share my phone a little bit. Anyways, so the least that I'll say is I myself, I personally vibrate in regards to dating and putting myself out there and, taking risks in the very brutal dating world, which I haven't been a part of in years. I vibrate at shame and guilt, which basically means that I'm closed off and self-protective and focusing on what makes me happy, and reluctancy to let people in and show myself and show the deeper sides of myself, all that. And the way that I see spirit guiding me is basically asking me to, instead of ignoring these lower levels, they're recommending that I sit with these lower levels with my heart open, so that basically, and what I've learned is that when you sit with uncomfortable emotions such as shame and guilt, what you're essentially doing is programming your heart to stay open when you want to feel like shit. So instead of shutting down completely, instead of your heart shutting down completely when you get into difficult situations and thus emotions, your heart can stay open. And you can stay open. So I was doing a lot of that today. It was hard when you intentionally and consciously go to that level of shame. I stayed there for as long as I could with my heart open until I couldn't do it anymore. And I decided to come back to the higher levels where I like to operate. Anyways, I can see how it's changing my consciousness. I just downloaded a dating app. Yeah, my thoughts are changing. It's just the first day, but I can feel a difference in how they're guiding me here. And I've been living in a hole for quite a while with regards to like dating and stuff because it's so scary. Anyways, I just want to share that with you all because I give these readings all day long, and of course I give myself readings as well, and I just wanted to share that little bit to let you guys know that I'm in the same boat as you guys. For those who, carry shame and guilt around with them, which basically tells that they're basically closed off to opportunities. Anyways, so that's my little bit here. Hi, JP General Reading. Hey, Lilith. Okay, so we are going to. How's everybody's Thanksgiving? Is that good? Did we all have a good Thanksgiving? I am going to read for everybody as usual. Uncomfortable, sure, but feeling a full range of spectrum of emotion makes us human. Yes, we're very all human. Being human is difficult. Why don't I start with you, Lilith? Want to do that? So let me know if there's something specific that you wanted Spirit to touch on. If not, then I'll just let them speak. We don't do Thanksgiving in South Africa. Hope you guys enjoyed yours. Oh, you're so honest. Thanks, Stola. How do you say it? Stola? Sorry, guys. I just saw a cockroach. Ew! Sorry, I just get the heebie-jeebies every time. So gross. They're like impossible to kill. Dude, die. You don't deserve to live. Did you guys like my reaction? God, I hate cockroaches. All I wanted, I was just opening a drawer to get a box of matches. I think my reaction was warranted. Okay, mind giving me a read? Yeah. I remember you asked for a reading, remember? Okay, so let me just light my incense. Alrighty. Okay, so let's do a reading for Lilith. Lilith. Most important thing for Lilith from Spirit. Hello, Spirit. Okay, so I'm just choosing a card here. I'm being led to a card. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. So, Lilith, Spirit has chosen the devil to come through as the omen, basically, for what, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but it likely has to do with something unhealthy, either a pattern, attachment, habit. Could be about anything at this point, okay? So I'm going to close my eyes. Well, let's see where we're at the, with table of level of consciousness, and then I'll close my eyes. Okay. Okay. So this has to do with a particular desire of yours that you have a little bit of, oh, okay. Okay. So this has to do with something that you're working on. A goal that carries a sense of lack. You started here with grief. And I see you're being aware of basically the grief and the fear that surrounds this particular topic here. But you're showing me here that you brought your consciousness up to the level of anger where you're more passionate or fiery in regards to being serious about actually walking towards and working towards whatever this goal is of yours, okay? So I'm going to close my eyes. Okay, so this is, I feel like you're actually stepping into your power with whatever this has to deal with. Whatever you're focusing on is bringing you a lot of clarity and a lot of peace. And you're giving yourself a lot of credit for what you've chosen and what you choose to move towards. And there's a very, very undeniable, just the word gratitude is coming through here. So either you are very grateful for where you're at with whatever this choice is, but let me see where they're guiding you here. Where are you guiding? Okay, so that I didn't expect. So they wanting to lower you to the level of guilt and shame, but not to embody those emotions, but to recognize that they are there and involved in this goal of yours, in which apparently you feel really good about. They want you to sit at these levels of guilt and shame. Likely because as you move towards this goal of yours, guilt and shame will come up and will interfere. So I'm going to close my eyes and see what that is. And that's probably what the devil here is about. Okay. What's coming through is symbolic. There's someone there, I don't know who this is, but they're saying to someone else, they're saying, don't tear me down, I'm innocent. Don't get rid of me. Don't, abuse me, don't neglect me. I'm innocent. Don't get rid of me. Okay, that's what's coming through here at that guilt and shame. So I don't know what that is. A little bit more here. So you know what this is? All right. Anything else you want to give here, Spirit? Okay. So they're taking me here to the level of desire in a very passive state. And where are you guiding? Okay. They want you to continue working towards a particular goal or I don't know what it is. It could be the same thing with what we're talking about this whole time. But it looks to me as if now is not the time to actually go out and create and speak and act on what it is that we're trying to manifest. There's times, particularly now for you, where Spirit wants you to condition yourself to be at this level of desire where you get to desire something, but they want you to prepare to act and move in the world, to move towards your desire. They want you, did I say this right? Let me just close my eyes. Okay, there's a fear about being too soft, too fragile, too sensitive. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the soft is. I've never been shown that, so I'll get clarity here. Why do I see two people holding hands walking into, it's the horizon? It looks very peaceful. So this is related to this soft part. Afraid to be soft. Are you understanding the signs? Okay, who's next? I've been told from my late grandma that that sounds like what that sounds a little bit, I'm not gonna say 100%, this is all your signs, but that does make sense. I've been told from my late grandma that I have healing hands. Can I please get guidance on how to move forward on this? Because I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I can feel the energy between my hands. Interesting. My pleasure. My pleasure, Lilith. Stola. I'm excited about this reading that's coming. I love to read my fellow spiritualists. Okay, so I'm choosing a card. It's taking a while. Hold on. Okay, 7 of Pentacles is what they've chosen. So this makes sense basically to the reason, basically what you're asking. 7 of Pentacles usually is an indication to me that somebody is wanting to take a step back to look at their situation, and mostly because they want to make sure that they're making progress, wanting to make sure that they're doing things right, wanting to tweak anything that might be needed. Yeah, it could also indicate somebody might be feeling unsatisfied with the situation. So let's see where you vibrate here. So with you are, with this, you are super connected to the spirit. I have never seen anything like this. It's just taking me farther and farther away. I've never seen that. But it's at the level of desire. So when I see energy that goes so deeply into passive mode or the heart, that's a sign to me that again, you're fully integrated with your spiritual heart, fully integrated with the universe, with yourself, with your soul. This could also be a sign that you might be communicating with other spirits, or spirits from the other side, like deceased loved ones are also coming through, and that you're kind of connected with that kind of realm. I'm going to close my eyes and see how this is going. Or let me see where they're trying to guide you. How are you trying to guide? Okay, so they want me to close my eyes here and just talk first, because the guidance is no different than what I already see. So if anything, Spirit is taking this opportunity to say, I see you. Okay? Wow, you know what I'm seeing? And I don't think you're doing enough of this, which, okay, I'm seeing my symbol 4. divine feminine, anything that has to do with internal work, looking at yourself deeply, assessing yourself, making sure that you're letting go of, you know, emotions that no longer serve you, actually setting intention to heal and to be whole from within, you know, just doing the work, being very humble. What else can I talk about? You know what I mean, right? Nurturing. It's that nurturing side of yourself, not only other people, but you. And I'm being shown a symbol that you're not too fond of this. Is this correct? I just found out about this 3 days ago, so I'm working on everything. Got it. Okay. So you're also, this is a good thing what I'm seeing here. You're also, it looks like you're also at guilt and shame, but you're aware that whatever it is situation that you're dealing with, you're aware that your situation takes you to these levels of guilt and shame where you feel as though you're not enough. Maybe you feel like you don't fit in. Maybe you feel like this might be a waste of time, where you will naturally want to withdraw and run away and be by yourself and make yourself happy. Okay, but you're aware of this. It's better to be aware of the shame rather than embody the shame and express it out loud. So you're taking a passive approach and be like, okay, I see that I'm prone to feeling shame about myself, but I'm not going to entertain that or embody it. So let me see what this is. Oh, where are you guiding? Where are you guiding? Okay. Look, this very much looks like preparation. This looks like conditioning your energy to be very much connected to the heart. This is very non-active time for you, but very self-aware, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna close my eyes. But they want you to be aware of that you are vibrating at desire and shame. Okay, it's actually helpful because I think they're conditioning your heart to be open when you do this kind of work and to stay open. Okay, so so what I'm seeing is there's a bridge. There's a really long bridge that stretches from one tall building to the other. And there's a voice that says, go cross it, go cross this bridge. Because there's just this one line of like, it's not string, but it's like one very narrow piece of wood that allows someone to cross. And somebody just once said, go cross it over. And then I could already, I can hear you and you're saying, yes, I'm gonna cross it, but you're scared, okay? But it doesn't matter. You know you're scared, but you're still crossing this bridge regardless. And I didn't have to tell you to cross it. You want to cross this bridge yourself. Because this person, whoever's telling you to cross this bridge, only had to say it once, and they already shut up because they hear you. They can feel where it is that you want to take this, even though you're pretty much scared. So that's pretty cool. One last here, if they want to give you anything. Oh, hold on, were you guiding? Yeah, like I said, this is a time of preparation here for you. They want you to accustom yourself to keeping your heart open at this level of shame. Don't allow it to just train your heart to stay open when you deal with situations that bring you to shame, where you want to feel like you're not enough, or like you're not good enough, or like, you know, giving up kind of. I think you're going to be great. I'm seeing my symbol for, usually I see airplanes traveling to a different area. This is the second time I've seen this. It's not only that I'm seeing the airplane, I'm seeing the pilot that's driving the airplane, and they're in control. And they're happy, and they're like, here I go. I'm going to this place. I'm going to a better place, better, you know, higher place, a place where abundance lies. Anyway, that's free. We're all chosen. Think of it that way. If you want to think of yourself as chosen because it helps you feel good, then think that, okay? But don't forget that we are all equal, and we all have some sort of role to play in this world, whatever it is. Just pay attention to whatever your superpower is, whatever gifts that God has allowed you to possess in this life, and own it. And don't let it destroy you, you know, because don't let it get the best of you. Alrighty. So it looks like we have some relationship. If everybody could double tap their screen to like this video, help me out. Yes, be open to them. And also refine them, use them, practice them. Don't be afraid. You know, be shameless. It'll turn into something worthwhile. So okay, so I'm gonna do some of these relationships questions real quick. My pleasure. And make sure you say thank you to Spirit as well, because this is all coming from Spirit. None of this is coming from me. I'm just translating stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these relationship questions. All right, so let's go with Sad G Malik's feelings. Okay. SK, are you here? Let me know that you're here. I don't want to read anybody that's actually not here. So for SK, okay, SK, Seven of Cups is coming through as the omen, basically, to serve before I take a look deeper into the energies of you. So when Seven of Cups comes through, it's usually an indication to me that you are in a situation where you have a lot of choices in front of you and you don't know what to pick or choose or focus on. This could also be a sign of fantasizing, but it usually will describe the first thing that I mentioned. Okay. So I know you want to ask about your person here, so let me just get a general feel about their feelings here. Okay. Okay, doesn't look good. There's a lot, I'm seeing signs of like pushing people away, not liking, not liking what they're seeing, kind of feeling very like repelled, whatever this has to do with. I'm also seeing like very sharp shards, so that's not good. Anything else here? Yeah, this person, it's coming through really clearly. This person wants literal space is what's coming through here. Hold on. And also, what I'm seeing is a goat. There's a goat that's very alone in a field, but they're happy. They're okay. But it mostly what I saw in this vision was basically this goat by itself in a field, independent, free, okay? So that's obviously, I'm not going to interpret anything, but with you asking spirit directly and asking them, this is what the signs that's coming through. So, hold on. Space. Readjustment to plan only what to get. Plan to give only what is necessary to prevent stunting growth. Yeah. Waiting period, readjustment. Yeah, this person is, yeah. That's definitely not a sign that somebody is interested in you, fortunately. Did you have another question to go with that, or are you good? Is that what you wanted to know? Okay. So we're gonna go with Zara. Like 9 does Ali miss Zara? How does he feel about me? No contact. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So let me do that for Zara. You just want me to tune into this person, right? Huh, okay. So, at the very least, this person, like, you're probably friends with, since this is coming through. And or spirit wants you to hold on to the fact that there's a friendship that either spirit wants you to remember. But I'm asking spirit, show me their person, how they feel towards Zara. Okay, so this person has a lot of fear when you enter their mind. And they are aware of that. So rather than dealing with the fear, they disconnect from it to make it easier on themselves. Close my eyes. Is this person in school? Because all I'm seeing is what they're telling me about themselves, that they are studying very, very hard. Okay, so I will let you know whatever this has to do with. This has to do with you. So the door is closed, basically, is what they're showing me in regards to you. So if they're here, you're behind that door of theirs, and they know that this door is closed. But as they focus there, what they're saying to themselves is, I want to plan to turn this doorknob again in the future. They're hesitant and they're scared to do that, but they know that this is the path that either they want to take or they know that they should take. So they're just building up the courage or the perfect moment in order to open this door up to let you back in, supposedly. One more here. And I think this is what that studying is. So it's symbolic what they showed me, because I asked for clarity and then they decided to show me this vision of them they're staring at the doorknob and they're like, okay, I know I want to open that thing again. They're like that. Okay? And one last thing here for you before I leave you. In regards to him, them, I don't know what their sex is, gender. Uh-oh. They keep remembering some kind of setback or a mistake where it wasn't pleasant for them, and then there's a dialogue there that is telling that they should stay away from this. So this is something that hasn't healed. There's a reason for them to be scared. There's a reason for them to believe that this is not, it may not work out. And so they have that inner dialogue as well. That's important for you to know, because they do not want the history to repeat itself. Okay? So also keep in mind that this is still a reading tailored for you. Spirit is basically the designer of whatever they want to show me, and then I describe. So this is important for you to remember that I don't think it's never one person's fault. Let's just keep that in mind when it comes to relationships. I think it's beautiful for everybody to always be like, okay, if you did something wrong, well, let me put that all down my wrongdoings because I want to make sure I'm being the best person that I can be. It's more beautiful that way. Okay. So that studying thing is likely, like I said, it has to do with you again. So I think it's likely something that has been weighing on their mind. Does this make sense? Yeah, no problem. So, yeah. I hope I'm doing okay in my life, you guys. I'm not in danger or anything, but I do have to look out, plan to figure out where I want to move to, who I want to be around. You know, it's difficult making choices. And I don't know, I just know I need to put myself out there a lot more. And not live under this rock. Anyways. How we doing? Yeah, I've been doing that, and I think I'm making some progress. Hi, Sherry. Do you want me to read you? See what might be coming through from Spirit? Hi, Charlie. So, who's it gonna be? Sherry? How's it going, Charlie? How was your Thanksgiving? Alright. So don't tell me anything, Sherry. I'd rather you not tell me anything. Don't tell me anything. If you do have a question, just hold the question in your head. Aw, happy birthday, Charlie. That's a good number. I wish I could go back to that age. Okay, Sherry. Hopefully you got your question, Sherry. Let's see how Spirit wants to guide you. Alright, share. Okay, so the tarot card that's come through as basically the omen before I talk about anything is the Emperor. So usually this will come out in a reading for me. That will show that whoever I'm reading for is in a position where they likely want to build some kind of foundation in a very practical way. It could be with a relationship. It could be, it could be a little bit anything, but structure, okay, organization, rules, stability, security, Building foundations, okay, is what this card is about. So let me look at where you're vibrating out. Okay. Okay. So this has to do with a situation in which I think for quite a while now, you've been thinking that it's a hopeless and helpless situation. And you've likely given up hope and may have logically convinced yourself that whatever this is that you were focusing on is a lost cause. But I'm also seeing that your consciousness is starting to rise into the level of grief here, where you're allowing yourself, instead of being cut off from whatever this is that you were focusing off, that you kind of like cut yourself off so you don't have to deal with the emotions that you deal with it. Now I'm seeing that you're actually, little by little, you're allowing the grief to take you, so that you can start realizing what you could have gained in this time in which you believe that the whole situation was hopeless. So grief is actually a positive emotion in my book, where you get to cry about, like, oh my God, I could have done this, I could have done that, like, I need to live life again, I need to get back on the horse and stop wasting time, That's where I see you starting to get into. I don't think you've fully indulged in this emotion, which can be helpful. Where are you guiding? Okay. So whatever this is, if you asked about something, I have no idea. Maybe you didn't ask about anything. But whatever this is, there's a particular goal or objective that you likely have. When you have this in mind, Spirit is guiding you to be more aware that it's gonna be healthy for you to feel some fear around this situation. Now, I don't know what we're talking about. That's why I'm gonna close my eyes and see if I can get some information what this is. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this is so random. So I don't know what the heck this is. I'm gonna explain it to you. It's almost like I see two people. I think they're in uniform. I think they're in military or army uniform. But there's something about these two people meeting to stand next to each other, shoulder to shoulder. Not particularly facing each other, but just side to side. And I think there's something difficult about having to do this, because I can hear spirit saying, don't cry, don't cry, as if this is something painful or difficult to do. Okay, I feel like this has to do with a person who is your friend, and you just told me that sadness tore you apart. And then you basically showed me that this person is your buddy. Does this make sense to you? Wow. For some reason, your consciousness has just skyrocketed all the way up into enlightenment here. Way above enlightenment, which is always an indication to me that likely I've said something to where now you're completely plugged in to spirit. Why am I seeing, could be two people ended a long relationship recently. Why am I seeing this is so weird. Someone is requesting a letter to be sent to them, but they want it to be on letterhead. They're being picky about that. The letter that they want to receive, they're like, I want it on letterhead, something like this. Okay, lastly here. Okay, I don't know what this has to do with, but I'm going to get one more thing here for you. Oh, and if you want to ask any question, hold that in your head right now. And they're saying, wanting or needing attention is not a bad thing. So I think this is what they want you to maybe be comfortable with. Asking for attention or needing attention is called for whatever this has to do with. Okay, that's for you. Lying naked on the floor. Is something mean? Chronic illness and love. Do you want to ask a question? You know, you don't have to disconnect so quickly. If you want to ask me a question directly. I'm sorry about the chronic illness thing. Anyways, I was wondering if new love or change is coming. I've been working on internal already. Like out there somehow. Okay. Alright, I want to see what comes through here as well. You asked such a specific question. Okay, for Sherry. I think right now, your main focus on, Sherry, is you wanting to make sure that whatever situation or relationship that you enter, that it's not going to be something where more problems will likely arise. So what's coming through for me as a symbol when spirit wants to get people's attention and make good choices, it requires a level of judgment of people's character. And so for example, if I want to have a child, I'm not going to have a child with somebody who is lazy and doesn't work on themselves and isn't self-aware or self-destructive. I don't think anybody should ever have a child with somebody like that. Okay? But again, what's coming through here is your focus on making sure that you do whatever situation that you get into, that you are not wanting unwanted children. Is the symbol that's coming through here. It's so savage. What's coming through is it's almost like you're waiting for the news report to come up, because I think on some level you're going to be on TV. It's symbolic, on TV or in the news, or your topic to be spoken about, okay? And you're basically anticipating, oh my God, I can't wait until the news comes up because I know it's gonna be about me and they're gonna have really good words to say. That's basically what's coming through. self-care. I'm seeing self-care here. Time is money. Yes, indeed. That's coming through. And I'm just seeing my symbol for somebody who really enjoys and is good at life. Somebody who values laughter and joy, and somebody who enjoys bringing beauty into the world. I'm seeing that around you. So again, even though this has to do with a relationship, I'm also seeing stuff about you, and focus on you and what you enjoy doing in this life. Okay, that's for you. Oh, this room is so well behaved. There's not a lot of people here. I don't necessarily need a lot of people to be in here, to be honest. Oh, let's see. Shamin Sarah? Recalibrate. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun. Okay, so Shamin Sarah will Mohit Ajaz come with his family for marriage. Khalil, I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna tell you what I see, okay? So the answer that Spirit is coming through here, the sign, they're going to give me a sign to explain. But this sign exists at the level of grief. But at this level of grief, people are still connected to their heart. So if I were to paint a picture, this would be somebody going through a situation where there could be loss or disappointment. However, this person is not allowing their heart to be closed off just because of this disappointment. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes now. Spirit is showing me a symbol that's basically telling me that you're kind of you put yourself in a dungeon, in a very dark place. In a dungeon, like I said. And you're very, like, you're humble, I'll give you this. You're very, like, kind of like waiting for the perfect thing to come along that fits perfectly, but it feels desperate, but it also feels like you're just gonna let life take its, like, if you were at the beach or you're swimming in the sea, you're just gonna let the wave take you, and you're just like, I guess this is what it's for me. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so I don't know if there's one or two people here, but one person is saying, okay, I plan to leave. I plan to leave some kind of situation that they're talking about. And then I just hear a voice that keeps repeating itself, saying, don't be mad, don't get angry. Don't be mad, don't get angry. So I think this is two energies here. Okay, so this is what's coming through. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you those signs. I don't think I need to interpret much more, but these don't look like it's, if this was something positive and the spirit is trying to guide you and make you think that this is something worth working towards, they would have shown me commitment, love, open hearts, doors open, positive connection. I would have felt those things. Here, it's not here. Okay? So, don't need to interpret. I think you know. I think you know the answer. I don't think I need to reiterate. You know? Just to give you clarification, I'll close my eyes since there's nobody else here. Okay. You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like a very masculine, like handy guy who is like wearing like this tool belt, and he looks really like masculine and like strong, and he's working on this house, and then I'm kind of sitting there in the corner, kind of being like, oh my god, he's so dreamy. This guy is so dreamy. That's what I'm seeing. But has nothing to do. Well, let me ask one more. Spirit, is what you just showed me have to do with this person that Shamim Sarah is asking about? Okay, is it the same? Nope, not at all. And there's a need for self-control here. So when you feel the need, or when you feel an urge to focus on this person that you've presented to Spirit, Spirit says, careful where you put your energy. Okay? Focus on things that give energy back to you. Okay? Don't focus on on people that do not return things. Okay? All right? Hi, Rose Quartz. Anyone have an hi, Critica? Greetings. Yes. I need to move on too. I need to move on to things as well. Okay, so people are so interested in wanting to know about what does he feel about me? We'll do it. We'll do it. Just light a little bit of shade. Sage. Bye, Lilith. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. My energies are different. Okay. Critica. So you're asking about Nitish. Nitish. Nitish? Just kidding. Okay, let's ask about Nitish. Nitish and their feelings. Nitish and their feelings. Okay, Spirit, show me a tarot card, please. Okay, not bad. So we have the Knight of Cups coming through. That is an indication to me that somebody really has their heart open and does not. I won't interpret too much into that, but this is definitely somebody who has their heart open in a situation. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close my eyes. All right, let's take a look at where they're vibrating here. So they are here at the level of desire, but they're not active. It's a passive energy. So they are aware of their desire, but they are not currently pursuing it. They're more observing it. Okay, but then they just raised their energy to the level of anger, where it's an indication that they're taking whatever their desire is to a little bit more of a serious approach. I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay, so this is, okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, but I can't assume anything as of now. I have to close my eyes one more time. You know what I'm seeing? What they're saying to themselves is, I plan to marry. I plan to marry. But then there's this other voice that comes through, and they're saying, no way. No way. So, I have to close my eyes. Here. And again, I'm going to have Spirit clarify again. This is in regards to you. Okay? Okay. Alright. So I'm going to close my eyes now. Okay. So this person has taken a step back from you. And they've done so in order to reassess their choices, because I believe that in the past they were likely convinced that whatever choices they made were not good for them. And so they want to make sure that whatever choices that they do make that they can make today and moving forward are those that will serve them. So they're being really resourceful with their time, their energy. They care about what it is that they put energy towards. They want to be the best that they can be. And what will ask here for you? Okay. This, and I don't know if this has to do with you, and I'm going to ask one more time, but this person is very serious about wanting to get married. This person is serious about really wanting to find the perfect match for themselves. They are so laser focused on this goal of theirs. And I'm going to ask if this match because it came through as a literally like a striking match, is I'm asking if spirit should guide you towards this person or not, okay? So that you know what to do, whether to walk towards this person or walk away. Spirit, how are you guiding them? That was not the greatest thing. They're asking you to want an ending to this. Your higher self prefers you to desire some kind of ending with regards to this. And they're showing me a church here, which I don't usually see. So I don't know what this church is. I'm going to ask what this church is, and I'll go to the next person. What's this church? It's basically a feeling of gratitude that you took controls of the situation. And it has to do with this ending. So, that's definitely a clear sign to step away from this. I'm sorry. Yes, SHS. I hope that made sense. I feel bad because obviously, I have to deliver not so great news, and I know that us humans, when we have our heart set on things and our mind set on things for a while, it doesn't, when truth lands, it usually can hit very, very hard. It can be really triggering. So I'm glad you're thankful. I'm gonna try to continue to do some readings for people. No. I'm still open. So I'm gonna try to read for SHS right now. And I'm gonna have them not reveal any question to me. And if they could just hold the question in their mind, that'd be great. Let me know when you got that question. Just be like, I'm ready. And I'll try to read for Ash Cube. Shirley, I'm gonna try to read for people who've never. I haven't seen these names before, so I want to give them some time with me. Okay, so SHS has got a question in their head. Ready? Okay, perfect. Okay, SHS. Okay, so with this question, SHS, you're vibrating really, really hot here. The levels of peace, joy, love, and there's a really, really nice combination, enlightenment there as well. So whatever this has to do with, you are very, very, very high in regards to this chart of consciousness by David Hawkins. Love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. You have a really nice, it's one energy that's all compacted together, and it's orbiting pretty much very, very active within your energy field. So I don't know what this has to do with, but I'm going to close my eyes. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's a little bit of difficulty here, even though, I saw that you were like vibrating so nicely up there in those higher levels. This has to deal with you realizing the fact that you have so much love for a particular, I don't know what, maybe it's a person, maybe it could just be a thing or idea, plan, whatever, I don't know, but there's something that you realize that you have a lot of love for, and you cannot detach from this, and it scares you. Yeah. And so I think you're very much aware of the fear, but instead of taking on the fear, you sit back and you observe it basically with your heart open. So you're healing the fear there. So likely maybe you want to go back towards this, whatever this particular thing is, and start working towards it again. But as of right now, you're still very, very passive. But I can see here your consciousness continues to rise with regards to this. So your confidence levels might actually be rising. And you might be taking this more seriously. And from a heart-centered place where you're not fighting to make things happen, but you're letting things happen on their own while at the same time loving yourself in the process. So hold on. Okay. You're kind of trying to be positive. You're kind of trying to move away from whatever caused you to be like, your world was just like shaken up, and you were shaken up at the same time. But I can feel you're like, okay, well, let me just brush myself off here and everything's gonna be okay, but in reality, I think what they're telling you is that there's deeper work that you need to do here in regards to just doing positive thinking, because it's not, there's likely emotions here, because they're showing me you're in a prison here. And I don't know if you realize that, because I can hear you doing positive affirmations and dusting yourself off and ready to go back into the world, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I can actually see you in a cage, in a prison, kind of, you're stuck. Okay. So now they're going to want me to talk about here, which is basically your shame, where you're operating at unconsciously, but you're not, you're probably being nice to yourself and not doing anything to make those feelings of shame come back up, if that makes any sense. So you're probably taking a passive approach. But what they want you to do is more of the time when you're by yourself washing dishes, I don't know, stretching, just walking, meditating or whatever, allow yourself to go to this level of shame, which is basically the lowest level in this table of levels of consciousness by David Hawkins. Shame right here, okay? And people will vibrate at the level of shame when they deal with situations or people in which your self-esteem likely has taken a hit, where you're asking yourself, do I belong here? Do I fit in? Do I feel seen? Am I wasting my time? Should I not give to this? Because that'll happen, where we unconsciously start giving ourselves negative dialogue. But they want you to consciously go to this level and bring your heart with you, and intentionally keep your heart open in these lower levels, so that when you go back into the world and you deal with people or situations that would usually make you want to feel like bad about yourself, your heart will continue to stay open, and so you can still keep going without you completely shutting off and saying, I don't belong here, this is not my place. Where are you going? Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh. It's almost like when you want to believe that there's hope with regards to this, something inside you just does not resonate with that. It's almost like impossible for you to actually feel 100% and feel hope, like fully. It's hard for you to actually believe that you could feel hope in regards to this situation fully. Does this make sense? So I think that's so hard. One last here. Okay, last thing here. They want you to spend time as well is in grief. In grief and feeling a little bit of fear at the same time is healthy. Okay, so in my opinion, when Spirit is guiding us to go into grief, it's a place where we get to sit down with ourselves and think about like all the things that we could have accomplished or achieved or gained from basically being closed off for such a long time. Because when we cry and say, oh my God, like life is short, I don't have much time left, I hope that I can still, do the things that I want to do, when you start opening yourself up to that, you're basically giving sign to your body that you're serious about taking action and moving forward. And apparently feeling a little bit of fear is also in the cards here for you as well. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to fear of whether or not it's going to be successful or not. What I think Spirit is trying to have you do is condition yourself to be stronger, to have more resilience in regards to your heart as you move towards your goals. One last here. Okay, I always forget what this, so they always show me a word, and then I always forget what I'm supposed to say when I see it, so give me a second. Where's it? Okay. So, alright, so what they want you to want is basically to make a new healthy decision in a new direction. The Fool also usually comes up with this. So you feeling free, you feeling like you want to follow your heart, not necessarily thinking about all the consequences, but you just being uninhibited with regards to making the choice of living your life for you, okay? And really also understanding why you want to make the choice that you want to make, and having the reasons for that. Wanting to purposely, intentionally live your life for a good reason. Okay? That's for you. That was deep. Alright guys, I think I'm so pooped right now. I gotta go. But that was nonetheless enjoyable. You guys always give me the opportunity to connect with spirit, and till thus, I know these readings aren't for me, I still feel very much connected to spirit, which is always an honor to do with you guys. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And yeah, thank you. Everybody's having a marvelous Saturday. And don't forget to double tap the screen to like the video, help me out in some kind of way. I'm so pooped right now, you guys. I have to rest. I need to go, but okay. What's the question? When will you? So Spirit doesn't show me timelines. I'm not gonna close my eyes and then be like 2 months, 3 days, 5 hours, 6 seconds. No, that's not how it works. I think you know that. Fine, I'll close my eyes once last year, but this is it. This is it. Oh, God, I'm so tired. Don't you guys feel bad for me? I can't. It's too much. I can't. Next time. Notifications. Alright? Sorry, I gotta take care of myself. I'm so tired. I just can't do it. I gotta go. Okay?